So registration not a prerequisite for claiming capital gains exemption. Email question next. Aslam Khan says that he's an NRI and he owns a home in Mumbai. Now he plans to rent out this home and make a rental agreement for the same. The rent would be around 35,000 rupees per month and it will be deposited in his NRO account. Now he has a three-part query. One, how much tax will he have to pay for a total rental income of 4,20,000 rupees? Is there any slab above which tax needs to be paid or for the entire amount? How much tax would he have to pay on this?
Sure. So, like you mentioned, you are an NRI, so you're a non-resident Indian. But since you are earning income from sources in India, that income will firstly be taxable. As far as the type of tax is concerned and the amount is concerned, that is going to be as per the income tax slabs, or which is your ordinary income, typically how would you pay tax. Currently, the way the slabs are structured is that if your income is below 2,50,000, you will not be paying any tax. Between 2,50,000 and 5 lakhs, the tax paid is 10%. So in your case, probably it will come in the 10% bracket. So that's just to answer the first part of your question.
Right. The second question is, will the bank deduct any TDS on the amount in this account, or will the guy who, so essentially will the person who he's renting out the house to, will that person have to deduct TDS?
Sure. So as far as TDS is concerned, which is essentially a withholding tax, which is paid by the person who's renting your apartment is concerned, there is a TDS under the Income Tax Act. However, the TDS is applicable only when it is paid to a resident. Now, in your case, you mentioned you're an NRI, so that provision should not apply to you. And consequently, the income you are getting, the rental income, should be without payment of TDS. So neither the person who's renting your apartment nor the bank will be required to deduct any tax.
So that's good news for you, no TDS over there. Are there any exemptions before he arrives at the amount on which the tax needs to be paid? Can he claim any exemptions here?
Sure, he will be able to claim exemptions or deductions on this, I think 4,20,000 which he mentioned. So typically the tax is payable on the rental income, which is 4,20,000. Over and above that, any property taxes that he paid will be regarded as a deduction on this. There is also a standard deduction available of about 30% of this amount, which is again going to be deducted from the final income tax payable. Lastly, there's also, if you've paid any interest on home loans to purchase this property, even in that case, that interest will also be deductible. So these are the kinds of deductions you will get. Get to finally come to your taxable income.
And Shipra, this is not part of his question, but I do have a question. Now, if an NRI wants to sell property, now we know that you need to pay TDS on transfer of immovable property in the country now, 1% TDS. So if I'm buying property from an NRI owner, what is the TDS that is payable?
Sure. So the TDS payable will be the 1% you just mentioned. So typically that should be the TDS payable, which is a tax on the payer, depending on the capital gains tax. So yes, the same amount should be the TDS that should be paid. So
it is the same. It doesn't change whether or not depending on nationality of the buyer.
No, it wouldn't.
It wouldn't change.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at magicbricksnow. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.